Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing this Eureka Flash lightweight stick vacuum cleaner. This is great 2-in-1. I've had this for a long time. Most of my place is hardwood, but this does work on carpet. So I'll go over some of the pros and cons of this during my ownership. I'll give a few secret tips that I found. So let's jump into it. So first, this is a 2-in-1. So I'm going to give some of the pros about that and my first secret tip, which, this is a lightweight, so I can lift this with one hand pretty easily. Having said that, the 2-in-1 means, so you have the long cable here, you have this dock, but if you go ahead and press this button right here, so I have to uncord it to do this, but if you take the cord off, and then you press this button here, you can lift up, and I'll need 2 hands to do it, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I've lifted this up now, and you can see you have the bottom piece, which is the stick vacuum, and then now I just have this handheld unit. This is really great for getting corners that a vacuum doesn't usually get when it has the stand, and it's also really good for stairs, surprisingly. I found that this is amazing for stairs. So off camera, what I did is I pressed this down, and then that allows you to pull this up. And so now what I can do, if I wanted to, I could even put this handheld unit right in there. And then this is sort of like a mini vac. So this could be good for kids if you want to have them vacuum for you and the stick vacuum is too long. Or if you want to do, like I said, the stairs, and you want to go the whole way, this is the easiest way. It says it's a 2-in-1, but really I find it to be a 3-in-1 just because when you take the handheld out by itself, it's so good for edges. So that's my first secret tip and a couple of pros and how to use this. The one thing you do want to notice with this is it has a spinning piece on bottom, and so obviously hair, dog fur, stuffed animal fluff gets stuck in there, so you have to clean it out periodically. I haven't done that for a while. I apologize for the grossness. But the other thing about this is it's a bagless, so that can be a pro and a con. It's a pro because you don't have to buy bags. It's a con because emptying this, I usually empty mine in my dumpster outside. And so depending on how much wind there is, this will fly up, and I don't like that it gets on me. Sometimes I have to wash my hands after vacuuming. But I just kind of demonstrated to take it off, you press that, to open it, you press that, and then to put it on, it just snaps in. So it's really easy to use. This cable here, so I'll mention the cord. It's really long. So this is a pretty long cord as far as the vacuums that I've owned go. I can get most of the house with this. If you have a really large floor, like a lot of square feet, I'd say 1,000 square feet on a single floor, you're probably going to have to plug in at least 2 times because this won't do that whole area. We had the dock here. It was in there at first. So what I'll show you is the center of gravity on this is kind of funny because you could see it's resting right there, but then the handle is all the way back here. So if I let go, it just wants to fall naturally. So that is one thing that's really nice about the stand is if you have it against the wall, it is trying to fall, but the stand is catching it on the wall. So it kind of locks it in there. So it's really nice for storing upright. I know some other vacuums that I've owned in the past, their center of gravity is under the bottom and they have a really big bottom, but those are not usually detachable. So this is a nice thing. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've attached the bottom back there. I do want to point out one thing. It's hard to not put this in correctly because there's this little attachment there and the little prongs there. That lets it know that it needs to spin the bottom. So the power comes from the top here and then it passes all the way down. So you can't really connect it wrong. It is very easy to connect. But I wanted to put it back in this upright mode to talk about a few things. So once you have it down, this is pretty good for carpet. It has a couple of settings here for the different carpet level. However, it's not the best for high pile, or as I call, really shaggy carpets. So if you have a high shag level or a high pile carpet, this isn't going to be the easiest thing to use. You're going to have to go over it multiple times. And so that's kind of a con, but it does lead into another pro slash secret tip, which is this does have a self-pulling feature. So you don't have to push it too much. When it's on, it will actually pull a little bit for you. So you really have to pull it back, but then it will just kind of push itself. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you're coming towards edges, right? So if you're vacuuming here, you don't want to push too much because you'll bang into stuff. Yeah, let me plug this in and then I'll show you the noise level. Okay, so sorry for all the off-camera work. I just need 2 hands to do this. But so if I turn it on here, this is great for hardwood. And then I'll switch it up. It gets a little bit louder. In terms of volume, this isn't like the loudest vacuum I've had. It's definitely louder than a featherweight vacuum, which you would expect. But in terms of other lightweight vacuums that I've owned, I'd say this is quieter. So it's definitely in the range of a lightweight, louder than a featherweight, quieter than a heavyweight, but I'd say it's on the lighter end of the lightweight. So I'll go ahead and turn this to hardwood and then to carpet, and then you can see the difference. So the increase in noise mostly comes from this spinning a little bit faster. It's not that significant of a difference in noise, which is nice. But I don't know if you could see the pull, but you also saw the lights on the front. I'm not really vacuuming at night, so the lights don't really matter to me. It is nice, I guess, for some people if you have maybe a dark floor, a darker floor than I have, and this would help you see things before you vacuum them up. Maybe if you're vacuuming a kid's room or something and you don't want to get Legos or something like that, that might help you. That's not my experience, so I can't really speak to that, but that's just my hypothesis on that. Anyways, that's all I have to say. It's a really great vacuum. It has a lot of interesting features. The cord, I feel like, is in a weird position. I wish it was lower, but that's just kind of the way it is. Make sure you clean it regularly, like any vacuum, but you can read the manual to figure out how to do that. Anyways, I hope this review was helpful, and thank you for watching.